So here we are at Otter, and we've got the new Emerald, 2014 Emerald, the new our downhill fork from DVO. This is the green version. We've got two colorways right now. We got black and green. Incorporates 203 mils of travel, full open bath, twin tube damper, and it's got high speed, low speed compression, all your basic high performance compression systems, rebound. We're using shim stacks, pistons, lots of oil, very high quality. It's an inverted system, and with an inverted fork, you have sometimes a little bit of issues with some torsional stiffness because you don't have an arch. And we've come up with this patent pending design called the CTA, which is a carbon torsion arch. Basically, this adds about 50% torsional stiffness to the fork by controlling a little bit of the independent leg movement. So it's basically being able to put an arch on a upside down fork like a conventional fork has. Adds some of the stiffness in it. Kind of functions too as a bit of a fender in the back. Plus it looks really cool. Nice and light. The fork weighs in at 2,900 grams, and we're trying to figure out which sort of CTA we're going to put on, and that'll add another 200 grams. We have different thicknesses that we're testing this weekend with Cedric Gracia, and kind of coming up with the final version of this in different stiffnesses. On the rear, we've got the Jade rear shock, and that has the same sort of carryover in the damping design philosophy of being lots of oil, big pistons, use of shims both on compression and rebound. The shock is a very cool running shock. We've got some cooling fins on it. It's very easy to work on. That goes with the fork as well. It's very simple to work on. And what we're going to do is offer a lot of intuitive sort of tuning videos and instructions for the consumers on how to actually go into the fork. You basically go into the Emerald. In 3 minutes, you can have access to both your high and low speed shim stack without any oil loss, and nobody is offered that sort of ease in repair and serviceability and tuning. You can do that, basically put the bike upside down, get a socket, pull out your base loader from the fork. You don't lose any oil, and you can, when you sort of get used to doing different tunes for different sort of track conditions, it's very simple to do. So we want to offer that sort of education and ease in kind of going to the next level of consumer performance by doing different type of tunes, different pistons, different shims. We're going to teach you how. We're going to have a forum on our site where people can exchange information on different sort of track conditions and rider weights and stuff. So it's going to be a bit interactive. And nobody else so far has really offered sort of that high performance serviceability tuning, as well as having sort of the the Ferrari of the mountain bike suspension world. So I was talking about the serviceability and the ease of tuning, and basically the example of this, you can do this in the parking lot, put the bike upside down, all the oil actually will drain to the upper part of the leg, and you get a socket, basically unscrew this whole base loader from the bottom of the leg. The cool thing is the knobs and everything stay attached. Typically you got to pull your knobs off. You got a detent ball, a spring, they go flying, you can't find them, can't put your knobs back on, you can't adjust your fork. So all the small details like this, we really thought about making sure the knobs stay on. Basically, here you have access to your high speed, low speed compression system. You see the green Emerald piston there. You've got your shim stack and your pressure spring. So, we're going to make a lot of information available to where you can pull this nut off, pull your piston out. You can put different types of shims in there. We can even have a different piston available, put it back in, or you can even have one that's sort of preloaded, throw it back in, and you can really be back on the trail in 5 minutes with no oil loss. So that sort of ease is really kind of unheard of on the suspension side. So we want to make it really simple and to adjust some complicated aspects of the fork. And then this is the internal of the upper assembly. So this is what we call a mid valve. You can see We actually, spent a lot of time developing this. The inside of the fork is as beautiful as the outside is, and so we really want people to go into it and look at it. When they pull it apart, you're going to go, wow, this is really nice. This is very high quality stuff. This is what we call the mid valve. This also functions as a rebound control, and we use piston and shims. So you can adjust really like where the fork starts to settle in at. If the fork kind of blows through the travel too much, because you're kind of either pushing hard or you're in a different type of course, you can put some shims on the mid valve, keep it more stable. If you want to adjust your rebound, put more shims on the rebound side. So there's a lot of adjustability here, high quality components, and it's just bringing the suspension tuning performance to the next level.